What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers? Today we are out here on the range with an iconic, historic submachine gun. A gun that, as the kids say, is a whole-ass vibe. This, if you can't tell, is the MP-40, the original ghetto blaster. If the MG-42 was Hitler's buzzsaw, the MP-40 was Hitler's street sweeper. You probably recognize it from pretty much any World War II game you've ever played or World War II movie you've ever watched. Or you've put a skin on it in Warzone. But doing anything that involves historic LARP on something like this is a bit dangerous. Dangerous to go it alone, that is. So I've enlisted the help of a particular talking balaclava for this particular video.
Yeah, Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
Greetings!
Greetings! I feel like I'm a Battlefield 5 character.
You kind of look like it. I dig the Blackbeard patch with the dual pistols, kind of really works out.
I feel like my NPC brain has unlocked it.
See, that just looks correct. So anyway, my buddy Admin Results is going to be out here on the range with us to help us with the forbidden LARP.
Don't try this at home.
How do you say montage in German? If you're one of the few people out there that realizes there's absolutely nothing wrong with the song we just used and it's a bunch of soldiers singing about a pretty girl they miss at home, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Guys, today we're doing a video on a gun that I have wanted since I was very young just because it is super cool and a really cool piece of history, the MP-40. Now this one here is not transferable. This is a post-dealer sample re-welded from a kit from 1942. So this is original. So Brandon, what is the MP-40? What makes it so cool and how does it work? Well, dear hypothetical viewer, I would love to tell you the answer to all of those things as soon as we're done thanking our sponsor who allows us to afford cool toys like this. The sponsor of today's video is Canadips. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, we're a big fan of the guys over at Canadips. They sell some of the best American-made CBD pouches that actually work. And for anyone worried, these pouches are 100% THC free. So for guys who are dealing with anxiety or any of the other countless issues that CBD helps with, these are made to be used discreetly and on the go. And right now, Canadips has a massive deal for the AKG Notification Squad. They're offering their California roll, which is one of each of their 5 core flavors. Mint, wintergreen, citrus, mango, and spice. All of this, of course, for 30% off, but that's not all. They're also throwing in a free can of their new flavor, horchata. So head on over to CanadipsCBD.com and be sure to use my code, and I'm not kidding, they allowed me to do this, Let's Go Brandon. Between letting me use that code tongue-in-cheek and also sponsoring this video, obviously not a bunch of pussies over there at Canadips. So be sure to click the link down in the description, use my code, and that is 6 cans of Canadips CBD for you to try out for 35 bucks, free shipping. So click the link down in the description and the pinned comment, and remember, let's go Brandon. Thank you to Canadips CBD for sponsoring the video. Back to the MP-40. So in case I haven't made it dipshit obvious, the MP-40 is a German machine gun that was used during World War II. It is an open bolt submachine gun, which means it fires from the open bolt. When you charge the gun, the bolt stays back like that. It's not having a malfunction, that's how it fires. Look through the top of the gun, see that this is empty. This is an empty magazine. And when you fire the gun, the bolt slams home, and the action of doing that with the firing pin there in the bolt fires the round. And all you do, really, while you're firing it and you're holding down the trigger, is you're getting the trigger mechanism out of the way of the cycling of the bolt. And as soon as you take your finger off the trigger, the bolt will hold open again. So this gun basically freely moves inside of this tube until either A, you let off the trigger, or you run out of ammunition, or you get domed by a Russian sniper. Stalingrad was a motherfucker. Now the gun is chambered in 9mm Luger. Very popular choice at the time in Germany. It was their main cartridge used for their sidearms, like the P08 Luger and the Walther P38. I don't have any in this magazine because I was just dry firing it, and that would be unsafe. What's the difference between dry fire and a desk pop? Apparently just one round of 9mm. So we also have a folding stock here. It is quite a bit wobbly. You pretty much just have to preload either up or down and just kind of go with it. But apparently that is fairly common on these MP-40s. So it's got a button here on the left side of the gun, I guess, well, the driver's side if you live in America. It's got a button that depresses here and it folds up under the gun, much like the AK does. Speaking of things with the AK, the bottom here, the lower or the frame, I suppose, for lack of a better word, maybe handguard here, is made of an early polymer. It's made out of bakelite. Bakelite is a common type of early polymer that was used around this time, and AK guys will know it well. All my homies love bakelite. One more thing I want to show you guys before we disassemble it. Of course, you guys have seen the magazine release. It's just this little knurled button on the side, but also the safety is kind of cool. So the safety is this right here. You can actually lock the bolt forward. This little piece of the charging handle pushes in and it locks it in place. But what you can also do is behind where the gun charges, there's a little S marked there. You can pull that back and rotate it up almost like the HK. You cannot, however, do the HK slap. Bad idea, because that groove is pretty pronounced there, but you've got two safeties, I guess, two options for safeties there. So you can either do that or slide it forward and push that in and lock up the gun. So, just kind of something that's neat.
Now it's time for the white claw penetration test. Tell me, Mr. Herrera, are you hiding any white claws underneath the floorboard?
No, actually, yes.
That was rather easy.
Gestapo right there!
They did not see that coming.
Brandon, I think you missed a few. I got him. Concentrate better.
As for the disassembly of said gun, let's take out the magazine, throw that in the pocket real quick. I'm gonna pull this tab out the bottom and rotate it, and it's gonna hold just like so. And you're gonna pull the trigger and rotate the entire upper part of the gun. And voila, you have tube. This is the lower part of the gun. As you see here, you've just got just a little cap here at the end, and the trigger mechanism, which literally, as I was saying before, is just to get out of the way of stopping the bolt. So we're gonna take our charging handle, pull this out, and we have our firing pin. Well, more of our firing pin assembly. This isn't just one giant firing pin, kinda. What this is a telescoping assembly that all has proof marks on it because fucking Germany. So this essentially acts as your recoil spring assembly. And then your firing pin coming through the top, which protrudes through your bolt, which is this little number right here. This, of course, is your bolt face, your little extractor there, and a groove for your ejector. And as you can see, when you push this through into the bolt, you get your firing pin protrusion. So I'm gonna stick her back in the gun, right like so, that little groove there. Charging handle fits right on through. Grab our lower half back in, twist, locks back in place, set that back up, and she's ready to rock and roll. Now up front, we also have a threaded muzzle. Now I think some elite units and whatnot did actually have some limited suppressor use with these things, which is kind of neat. I was really curious, I'm like, okay, so what exactly do you use a threaded barrel for in 1940 on one of these? That it was important enough that they gave it to pretty much all of them. I don't know how extensively they were used, probably not at all, but I figured it was worth pointing out. Now, this is a really cool historic piece, especially if you're a big World War II buff like I am. Specifically, I've always been really keen on the World War II Russian, American, and especially German stuff. The engineering and sometimes over-engineering of a lot of this stuff is super neat, and just they had some of the most iconic weapons ever designed. Now, what I'm about to say might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but bear with me. I'm not really a big fan of fascism. Commies, Cool your jets. But when it comes down to just legendary pieces of firearm history like this, I feel privileged to be able to own it. To make sure weapons like this are restored to their more or less original condition and preserved for future generations to learn from. And mag dump into trash with. Oh man, well okay, edgy humor aside, this gun is an awesome, awesome piece of history and I'm privileged to own it. Because the best way to not repeat history is to learn about history. And the best way that I know to get you guys to learn about history is to make really fucked up jokes about it. So on that front, thank you so much to my buddy Administrative Results for coming all the way down here to help out with the LARP aspect of this video. Please go check out his channel. We greatly appreciate you supporting him.
Well, Brandon, I was thinking they don't need to check out my channel when you have no ammo and a phone with 1.9 million subs on it.
You serious?
Run, Brandon! Run! Au revoir!
Herrera!
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
I just short stroked this gun because my fucking wrist was in the way because of the way I was holding it. You probably recognize it. God damn it. Recognize it, you wasco-y wabbit.
You gonna go make friends with it?